don't know how some people out there manage to pull the stunts that they do, nor why they do the stuff and pull the stunts that they do, especially if they're in a pretty prominent position. So, in case y'all are unaware of who this man is, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did, unless you was a avid college basketball watcher. This man's name is Roderick Wilmont, and he was the coach of a Florida team. Now, I'm not exactly sure if he was the coach of a college basketball team or a high school basketball team. I'm not exactly sure, but he was the coach of a particular team, and I'm going to find out exactly where it was at, but I think it might have been a high school basketball team. And this man was using the tuition, because I saw that it's at some kind of an academy, so it sounds like a private school. He was using the tuition money, not his own money that he was getting paid, but the tuition money for the students that were playing for him on things that were not supposed to be used for, such as gambling, going to the casino, and OnlyFans. You heard that correctly. This man was spending the tuition money for these students that was not supposed to be his to play with on his own little personal endeavors, such as gambling and OnlyFans. And also personal vacations, because of course, whenever there's a splurge going on, there has to be in there somewhere, it has to be something in there where you can splurge on your own personal vacations. It even goes on to say, it says that the detectives obtained Coach Wilmont's financial records, and it showed the parents of the players were sending him thousands of dollars each month for quote unquote tuition in the program. So it sounds to me like he was scamming them. He was probably telling them, look, in order for you to play for me, you have to pay this certain amount of money and all this, that, and the third. And because he probably built up a good reputation, or seemingly one, it actually worked. So these parents, unbeknownst to them, were sending this man thousands of dollars every month so he could splurge on himself. And it's like thousands of dollars. It makes you wonder, how much of that did he spend on OnlyFans? How many subscriptions did he buy? Is the question that I would like to know, because I'm assuming the gambling and the personal vacations probably took up the bulk of that money, especially the vacations part. And he was probably taking the people's money, gambling away their money in order to get more money for himself. Of course, that's usually how gambling works. And this is actually coming out of Florida. They said that he was charged with 2 counts of scheme to defraud and 2 counts of defrauding an innkeeper. They said one of the things of the housing companies from which the school is renting houses for the student athletes has expressed concern over the issue that after it failed to secure the rental payments from the institution. They say he would have deposits of $45,000 into his bank accounts over the course of a few months. They said a review of his banking records revealed that instead of paying for the housing he obtained for the players, he was spending thousands of dollars each month on gambling, personal vacations, and OnlyFans subscriptions. And they said they began their investigation in December after receiving reports that Wilmont had an outstanding balance of $26,000 for 2 rental property firms. And then it said initially he had failed to cooperate with one rental company over a previous transaction, and that's what ended up leading to his arrest. Of course, if he did cooperate, he would probably still be out here scamming these unsuspecting parents. It goes on to say in a quote, it says Coach Wilmont told one company the money was wired and transferred to their bank account. When the business asked additional questions in an effort to identify the wire transaction, Coach Wilmont became uncooperative with them. And it goes on to talk about his college career. They say he is 6'4". He used to play for the Indiana Hoosiers between 2002 and 2007, and all of that other stuff. So it's just basically going into his bio, which really bears, in my opinion, no relevance to the case at hand. That's wild. Like, why would you even do that? Like, they came to you with trust and you destroyed that trust. I hope this guy gets the maximum penalty that he could get. Like, you took their money and spent it on that. and lied to them and said it was going to be this, that, and the third, I bet you it was going to be nowhere near that amount. Because I'm like this, if you were trying to play in a particular program like that, you need to question why, if anyway, is this costing so much? It should not cost that much at all. And the fact of the matter is that he took their parents' money, because the parents paid it, the kids didn't pay for it, definitely. Their money that they were giving to him monthly, or at least over a course of time, to spend on his own personal endeavors, with one of them again being OnlyFans. And I'm gonna question my subscribers. Out of the 3 things he spent this money on, the gambling, the OnlyFans, and the vacations, which one do you think he spent the most on, and which one do you think he spent the least on? Or put them in some kind of an order of what he spent the most on and what he spent the least on. That is crazy. But it sounds to me, based on looking at this, he didn't get that very far. It looks like that 45,000, based on what I'm looking at, is the most he got out of them. So good thing the scheme didn't go as far as it did. But the fact of the matter is that it was a scheme and embezzlement nonetheless. Like, who knows if those people who gave him that money is going to get that money back because of this investigation. They may not be able to get that money back. But thankfully, it didn't get as far as it could have. But the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, is that he violated their trust. They trusted this man. And that's why a lot of people don't like to pay for anything, quote unquote, subscription based, or have to pay into anything, because they're afraid they're not going to see some kind of a return on investment or anything like that. And this guy right here proved without the shadow of a doubt that he is definitely not to be trusted.